here with Lynn Symansky, who is getting ready for her ride tomorrow afternoon on Donner. And Lynn, just kind of take us from the very beginning. Let's talk a little bit about your childhood and just how you got into horses.
Yeah, I started riding in the womb. We lived in D.C. and my parents had a house in the Shenandoah Mountains in Virginia, and we would leave each weekend and I would ride double with my dad in a Western saddle. So I grew up doing trail riding. My first competition, I was 4 or 5 years old. I got introduced to riding by some friends in the neighborhood, the O'Malleys, and did my first competition and was winning from start to finish. Probably cross rails, I don't even remember, but nobody told me about the finish line, so I missed it and I was emulated because I couldn't even say eliminated. So I grew up in an amazing riding community, and we would ride after school every day, and it just was kind of part of my childhood.
So your parents were involved in horses, and they're still pretty supportive to this day. They're still kind of your biggest fans.
Yeah, for sure. They never did it competitively. It was always for fun, and I was the one that started competing. My brother as well when he was younger, and then stopped riding. My dad is very much behind the scenes. He gets very nervous watching. He actually still can walk into the barn and not recognize Donner, but he keeps himself busy doing a lot of scoring and secretary stuff, and he's kind of my secretary when I call up and get stuff done and knows all the rules. And so, he's kind of the logistics guy. And then my mom is my biggest fan, and she gets the horses. She's the one that started the whole family and the horses, and, comes to every competition she can, and she rides herself just for fun.
And your first trip to Kentucky here for Rolex was actually not on Donner. It was on your horse, No It Isn't. And just tell us a little bit about that experience.
Yeah, I got him when I was 14 years old, and he was 5. And we kind of learned everything together. He was an off-the-track thoroughbred. I wish I had had him now, but he learned some bad stuff, some good stuff. But it was amazing. It was great to go when you're younger and you actually don't quite know what you're doing, and you just got out there and do it, because now I think the more you learn, the more you start to think and think and think. And he was a great horse to have my first Kentucky on, in terms of he's a cross-country machine. He taught me a lot of patience in the dressage because he really wanted to lay down in that kind of atmosphere. But yeah, so I was a kid, I didn't really know what I was doing, and so it's been nice to kind of get that comfort when you're younger and now really put the finishing touches on it.
And Lynn, tell us how Donner came into your life.
Yeah, funny enough, I got a call from the same person that kind of started me riding when I was younger, Shannon Crocker. He belonged to a friend of hers, and she knew maybe it wasn't quite the right match for her, but gave me a call. He's a beautiful type, a bit quirky and wild, and it was one that if you could figure out how to get through the mental part of him, he would turn out to be a fantastic horse, and so I'm glad that I went and saw him that day.
And you've brought him up through the levels yourself. And at what point did you think that maybe you had a 4-star horse on your hands?
Not until I did a 4-star. Yeah, I didn't know. I was entertaining possibly selling him because I thought he was a nice horse, but he wasn't a good mover, so I knew he wasn't gonna win back then. He's become so much better. I think he's turned out to be better on the flat than any of us ever would have expected. The biggest thing is the nerves and the tension. He actually can move, but he gets very nervous on the flat. So, and he was a good jumper, but I didn't know what a good jumper he was. Yeah, when I had taken him intermediate, I was still possibly thinking about selling him. Every horse is kind of for sale at this point, and then I took him to the AECs and just decided after the intermediate, I guess it was, I don't remember what year it was, 2010, that he probably wasn't going to be for sale because I thought he really could be a big-time horse.
And you've decided now this year, you announced that you wanted to syndicate that horse. And so just tell us what goes into that decision.
Yeah, I do kind of everything on my own in terms of, I run the business and all that money goes straight into Donner and the other horses. And once they get to this level for this amount of time, it's very hard to maintain them on your own, unless you happen to be independently wealthy, which I'm not. So I wanted to get some more people involved, kind of to help share the experience. He's a great age right now. He's been on 2 U.S. teams. He went to the Pan Ams and he went to the WEGs, and he's just 12 this year. So yeah, we have a good group of people involved. I have over 75% of him syndicated out, still looking to fill the last bid, and it will include him. And then it gives the opportunity to put another horse on board, so you actually get to have Donner, who still has quite a few years exciting in front of him, and then add another up-and-coming star that would hopefully turn into him as well in a few years.
Great. And Lynn, we had some of our Rolex fans write in with their questions, and one of those questions was, who was your riding idol growing up?
Oh, I would have to say Karen O'Connor. She is just an unbelievable woman, unbelievable tenacity, unbelievable skill, and she was just around the corner from me. So she was just that larger in life figure, and then through the years I started riding with the O'Connors and, really look up to her still. But growing up, she would definitely have been my hero.
And then some of our fans want to know if you ever get any less nervous, and what you do to kind of control your nerves the more experience you have.
Yeah, I think nerves are a tough thing, honestly. I am pretty calm and cool, but I do definitely get nervous, and I think recognizing that and really thinking through it, like before dressage, the night before, I'll just go over every single movement in my head so it doesn't get overwhelming and ride through it. Do a lot of visualization. Same thing with courses. I actually take pictures of all the jumps all the time, not because I don't remember them, but just to go through one by one and think about exactly how I'm going to ride. Because if you think about the whole course or the whole competition and so on, it gets overwhelming. So I like to break it down and really just visualize part by part so it becomes a job that you understand rather than too much to think about.
Lynn, we wish you the best of luck tomorrow.
Thanks.